Hi, well, today I get to introduce you to my friend, Ed Codi. Ed, you're now an author.
Yes, thank you very much for having me on.
Of course, and you probably recognize Ed because you're a host on Armstrong's The Coaches Roundtable.
Yes, 20 years in the running.
Now, and today I get to interview you.
Yes,
How
it's
about
nice.
That? Yeah. All right. So let's talk about this book. So the book is all about the Saul brothers.
The Saul brothers, and includes Terry Hanratty, a little bit of history about Butler football during the heyday in the 60s, and kind of a story about the town and what went on at that time in Butler.
Yeah. And you personally knew them.
Yes. Bill was the oldest, and of course I was a kid when he played football and basketball at Butler, and he was a drawing card. He was 6'4", 200 pounds back then. One of the, at that time, he was the leading scorer in Butler High basketball history, star in football. He's also a great baseball player who hit some historic home runs at Pullman Park in Butler, was even offered a contract by the Cincinnati Reds, but went on and played at Penn State and then went into the NFL and was a Steelers middle linebacker for about a half a dozen years.
Okay. Then he has these little brothers that are twins.
Rich and Ron, twin brothers.
And the whole family are athletes.
Yes.
Right?
Well, those three were anyway, and got to know Rich and Ron through midget football, and then they come up when I was a senior at Butler. They were sophomores on that undefeated team we had in '63, where Rich was the left defensive end, I was the right. Ron was a linebacker behind me, and behind him was the safety, Terry Hanratty.
Okay. And the Saul family, they grew up on Institution Hill?
Institute Hill, where Terry Hanratty grew up also.
Okay.
And I was on the other side, south side, and we played them in a midget football championship game, and we beat them. 3 future NFL players, and we beat them.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
And you followed along their career. You went ahead and went on to Slippery Rock University, where you played football.
Yes.
And then where did the brothers go? The oldest went to Penn State.
He went to Penn State, and Bill was a straight A English major.
Okay.
Rich and Ron went to Michigan State. They could have gone anywhere in the country, and they were going as a team. And of course, Terry Hanratty was set to go to Michigan State, and the Notre Dame coach, Eric Barsegian, was watching film of the Sauls, and he saw Terry perform this game against Farrell up at Farrell, where Butler won 49-28, but Hanratty produced almost all the touchdowns and over 400 yards of offense, and got a call from Notre Dame. Met Eric Barsegian, and that was it.
And that was it.
He was off to Notre Dame.
So yes, we have Terry goes off to Notre Dame. The twins go off to Michigan State.
Yes, they played against one another.
Okay.
1-1. They split. Michigan State won 1 year, Notre Dame the other.
And from what I read, the twins were hard to identify who was who, right?
Yes, and it was hard at first, and I learned a little trick. Rich was 6'3", Ron was 6'2", so you noticed that little bit of a difference, but a lot of people at Butler High School didn't, including teachers, where Rich and Ron would switch classes, and the teachers had no idea.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
So now, going on in their NFL careers, could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Rich went on. He made the Rams after he suffered a devastating injury his junior year at Michigan State, ACL injury. They didn't think he was going to play again. He came back and made All-American at defensive end, and made the Rams as a special teams player, and then eventually became an All-Pro center for them for a number of years. And then Ronnie went on, was drafted by the Houston Oilers, then traded to the Washington Redskins, or he was a member of their famous, what they call the Hogs team, and he got a Super Bowl ring with the Redskins. Richie did play in a Super Bowl against the Steelers, but they lost.
Okay.
And then Hanratty had 2 Super Bowl rings with the Steelers as a backup quarterback to Bradshaw, plus a championship at Notre Dame.
Wow.
In '66.
So were you able to watch them in person, like when they were in the NFL?
In the NFL, yes. But when they were in college playing, I was in college playing and couldn't see them play. But yes, I had our assistant high school football coach, Paul Yorm, was a Steelers special teams coach. And so he would take me to practices, especially on Saturdays. So if the Rams came in to practice before the Steelers, I'd get to see Rich. And if the Oilers or Redskins come in, I got to talk to Ron Saul. And of course, Hanratty was there. And there's some interesting things that I talked to them about that's in the book.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I'm so happy that you're here and that we're talking about it,
Mhm.
because I think this is like the perfect kind of almost like Christmas gift to
Yes.
buy for somebody that's from Butler, that has followed Butler sports, which this really rich history. What inspired you to write it?
Well, I think, Ronnie passed away 2 years ago. Bill passed away early part of this century. And then Rich, memory serves me correct, around 2014.
Okay.
So talking to one of their nephews, Rob Baxter, I said, I think I'm going to write a book about them. So I put the pressure on myself to do it. And it took a year or so.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's in the problems, not in the pen, it's up in your head. So I started to go to Starbucks last spring, and for 3 to 4 hours every morning, I just wrote and wrote and wrote. And and then finally the hard part was organizing
Editing,
everything,
right?
and getting it edited. And finally it came out. And
You have a lot to be proud of.
yeah, and I'm proud of it to do it for them.
Yeah. So where can we find it? How can we get a...
Right now, the book is being sold at 3B Tobacco at the Point, which is right in between the state license photo center
Oh, okay.
and the iconic Burger Hut
Okay.
sandwich shop. And 3B Tobacco is right there. It's on sale there, and they keep books for me there.
Yeah. In the future, you're going to have a book signing.
Yes, that would
I'll
be
be your
nice.
agent.
Yeah, I would like that. Yes, that would
All
be
right.
nice.
Well, thank you, Ed, for coming.
Hey, thank you,
great
Tricia,
work,
for
great
having me on the
work.
show.
I love having this history recorded right from Butler County. That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for watching this episode of the Butler Buzz. If you want to see more, just click on the playlist button up here. To keep up to date with all of Armstrong Neighborhood Channel, click on the subscribe button down here. Hey, I suggest you do both. See you next time.